It's me, Crystal Stark, back again with another truth reading, tarot reading, and I have wanted to look into more depth into this whole Elon Musk thing for quite a while, and I've had some amazing questions, some amazing suggestions about what's going on with him. It's really hotting up with Elon Musk and the Twitter thing at the minute, so I definitely want to be looking at that. There's a few other things as well I wanted to be looking at. I don't know whether I'll have time or not, but obviously, like I always say, you'll know more because it will be in the title. I wanted to look it briefly probably into this Prince Harry's book. He said a few things that have hit the mainstream media. Obviously, I've not read that book. I've not bought that book. I'm having nothing to do with that book. As far as I know, that's not even Prince Harry, as I explored in a different video. But like William hit him, which doesn't surprise me at all, and how he was bragging he killed all these people in Afghanistan. Anyway, I also, on my social media, I saw a billboard for Prince Edward the musical, and I thought that was hysterical or scary. I don't know which, probably both. So I posted it on my social media, and I thought, well, I'd better watch this because you never know, there might be something in it. So hopefully I'll be looking into that. Don't watch it, by the way. It's awful. Unless you want to, but be prepared, it is awful. And I wanted to be looking into that as well. I also wanted to be looking into, a lot's been coming up about Santa, Saturn and Satan. I wanted to have a quick look at that as well. And also Andrew Tate has been hitting the news. I wanted to have a look into this guy Andrew Tate, because from what I'm seeing, he's a bad guy. And I'm not saying that he's not, because that's what I think he is, but is this part of the black hat plan? Is this part of the white hat plan? I don't know. Hopefully I'll get time to have a look, but more importantly than that, I want to be looking at Twitter and Elon Musk. So let's get on with it. Right, let's start off by doing a little read on the whole Twitter and Elon Musk situation. Now, I want to start off by having a look at just a general overview into what this whole thing is all about, because if you've been following my social media, I've been sharing, you probably know anyway, David Icke is now not only back on Facebook, but he's also back on Twitter as well. Now, he did a video. This is not what prompted me to do this video. I've done videos on Elon Musk before, and I've been like I said, I've been asked lots of questions, I've been given lots of suggestions, but David Icke has done a video about Elon Musk, pointing out the fact that he is quite clearly a black hat, or was. And I agree with that. There's no disputing what he was up to and what he has been up to. Now, I've been following the situation because this Twitter thing's been really interesting to me, and as far as I'm concerned, he has been doing the white hat's bidding, let's say. Now, we obviously want to know why he's doing that. Now, in my previous video when I looked at him, what I got was Elon Musk is an independent. What do I mean by independent? That means Elon Musk does what's right for Elon Musk when it's right for him. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but obviously he was in neck deep with the black hats at one point. And every single thing that I'm seeing here, there's no black hats, there's no white hats. Yeah, I am genuinely seeing here that he has done what's exactly what I said before. He's independent. He's doing what's right for him when it's right for him to do it. He doesn't care about anybody else. He doesn't care about gender. He's going to do whatever is right for him whenever it's right for him to do it. Now, I was asked, someone said there was a rumour about him being kidnapped and cloned. Now, I'm going to ask that question in a second, but I am not seeing a clone here. I'm not seeing a clone here. What I'm seeing here is he was getting on with it. He came into a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of an argument, probably with the Black Cats, because we know whose side he was on in the past, which is this line. He may have been a double agent at some point. That's what I'm kind of seeing here, a little bit of double agent energy here. But he has walked away. Now, I would suggest that this means this is walking away from the Black Cats, and he wasn't happy about it. I think what I'm getting is the Black Cats were giving him what he wanted, but I guess he knew that it was coming to an end. There was nothing he could do. He knows how to get out of this. He's got to follow what he's told to do. That's what I'm getting here. I think there's a lot of confusion here. I get that this is a more complex question, because like David Icke says, this Twitter thing and Elon Musk makes no sense. I guess if we take it that, okay, he's not dedicated to the Black Hats, he's dedicated to himself, and he's going to do it. If he sees the White Hats winning, he's going to take that option. He's going to take that path. Even if it means being a double agent, he doesn't care about anything or anyone but himself and getting what he wants. I'm not sure from this, the outcome, that that's going to work for him completely, to be honest. I think at some point he's going to have to find some integrity within himself other than just me. I'm sorry if you hear any noise outside. This building work's still going on next door. And it seems like the second I sit down to record anything, they're building next door. So this seems quite fated. So I'm just going to carry on. But sorry if you hear noise outside. Now, I was asked, let's just ask the question. Is this actually has Elon Musk been cloned? That was the first thing. Was he cloned? Because that would obviously complicate the situation. Because when we're asking about Elon Musk, we will be getting, well, which Elon Musk are you talking about? Because if the clone has been acting as Elon Musk, then it would be confusing. No, I'm not seeing that. I'm not saying he hasn't been cloned, but what I'm seeing here is there is not a... That's not what we're considering here. The Elon Musk that we're seeing is him. That's him. That's what they're suggesting to me here. The second suggestion I had was that he's controlled opposition. And I thought that was very interesting, because if he is independent and he's doing whatever's right for him, if that's what's right for him, then he'll do it. So let's have a little bit of a look if he's controlled opposition, although that would fit in with the first reading, as in like he's like a double agent, because that was in the present line. Once again, I'm getting no black hats and no white hats in here at all. I am getting this same message. This is about him doing whatever's right for him whenever it's right for him to do it. Now, I did just get this here. he's come to a deal. He'll do what's right for him. He'll do what makes him happy. This is his focus. What is it that he wants? What is it that he wants? And playing both sides together obviously will suit him right now. I've just been told that the White Hats know that he's doing this. So I get that he's playing both sides. He's playing both sides. So if he's opening up Twitter, there's no saying that he's not been asked to do this by the White Hats, but also on the same hand, he could be, well, why don't I play controlled opposition to the Black Hats? And they've clearly agreed that that would be a good idea, or maybe it was their suggestion. Here's a deal going on here. Maybe the White Hats put that to him and that's why he's doing it. I'm literally not seeing him on either side. There's only one side Elon Musk is on, and that's his own. That's what I'm seeing here. So in answer to the suggestion, is he controlled opposition? Very possibly, but as a double agent, which makes it even more complicated, which is why I'm seeing that it is a complicated situation. But I'm not seeing a clone. I'm not saying there's not a clone of him. I'm just saying that I don't think that's part of this situation. Also wanted to look at, I presume in this that he's capitulated. I was asked as well, how do White Hats make their deals? Now we know that, let's have a little bit of a look at this. How do White Hats make the deals, particularly in this situation? I know that many in the past, people were put in place where Black Hats, or those who have been kind of taken over to the Black Hat side but want an out, can go to and make a deal with the Black Hats. And I know they leave them in place for their own safety. Some of them obviously they have to take out, like for example, let's look at Princess Diana, who I still believe they didn't let her die. She knew what they were going to do. They all knew what they were going to do. From what I'm getting here, on the most part, they will lay an offer on the table that they can take or not take. I get that at this stage in the operation, most of them know they're going down. Anyway, most of them know this is how this is going to work out. But the offer has to be made to be accepted or rejected, because that determines obviously the outcome. If they're dragging me down here, if it's accepted, depending on what it is they've done, a deal will be reached as to their punishment. They can walk away if they want to. The more they walk away, obviously the more the justice builds up and the more their payment is, depending on what they've done. If what I'm being told here is if they don't surrender to that, then obviously, let's call it rough justice, shall we? I think we all know what that means. Court martials, an execution. That's what we've been led to believe is going on, isn't it? That's what I believe is going on. But they're offered an out which they can refuse and let to go carry on as they have been doing. But if they do that, obviously they're not going to be given any kind of deal here. Now we're seeing this card again. Now this came up in the earlier reading with Elon Musk, didn't it? That he came to a deal. There can be a deal reached, but obviously the amount of their capitulation decides what that outcome is going to be, what that payment is going to be, and obviously their involvement in the activities of the Black Hats. not just, I imagine, in terms of the parties and the ceremonies, but also in terms of the locking in of the Black Hats plan, if you like, or the implementation of the Black Hats plan, if we can put it like that. But in terms of, so specifically with Elon Musk, what I'm getting here is that because he was such a major player in the setting up of certain systems meant to I want to say roboticize, that's the word they've given me, the transhuman thing, turn us all into robots, that kind of thing. The amount of his involvement has to be repaid through the amount of him opening up the opposite effect, or him supporting the opposing effect, if you like. He's getting away with it right now because he's, what I just got, as you saw in the previous reading, was so what I got was, as he seems to be playing both sides right now, although, like I got, the white hats know that he's playing both sides. It seems to be working in his favour, but I did get that outcome, didn't I? So I don't know whether it will continue to work in his favour here at all. And I mean, I did want to say something. It seems quite obvious to me now with... let's have a quick look on the total... how we're seeing this physical awakening process going, because in my New Year video I did look at the numerology for 2023, and it's a much more spiritual number, and I know we really need to start kind of heading into that spiritual awakening as well. And I want to have a look how far we've come with the physical awakening, because from what I'm seeing, most of the structures of control of perception, control of worth, value in ourselves and what we value, and how we're being controlled by placing value on what we're told to place value on, rather than what is actually valuable, which is our soul, which is the only truth in us, is opening it up a lot. And I can't see that most people are not seeing that. We've had revelations and truths coming out in like every area of control: politics, religion, the aristocracy, Hollywood, the music industry, the fashion industry, mainstream media, modern medicine, psychology, everything's kind of being exposed. Although it seems here, what I've drawn straight here, which is the best course of action line, these three here, understand that this is a very youthful card. There's different stages of awakening. We can acknowledge things subconsciously but not consciously. And I was given 80%. I've had something like that before. But obviously with these different stages of acknowledging what is the truth, and it has to come slowly, because like I said in a previous video, I think it was my last video, it would do humanity no good for a huge dip in energy and shocking news like this to people who've been closed off to this, to people who do care about money and religion and fashion and politics and aristocracy and believe in all these things. It would shake them to the core, which would cause a dip in the global energy, which may damage the Christ grids. And I've just been told the third Christ grid is almost finished. Now, if you don't know what Christ grid is, I had it explained to me like this. They use the word Christ as in the part of each of us that is still connected wholly to source. It's like our higher selves, but only the part of our higher selves that truly knows that this is illusion and sees that all this is illusion. I'm going to be looking at this. I'm going to be doing a whole thing on the chakras and the auric body and the energy systems, and I'll look at the higher self and what the higher self is and what the Christ self is in that. That will be on my membership site on my website, starlightworkcircle.com. If you want to know when that's up, either follow me here, subscribe on here, or you can go to my website and sign up for email updates, or sign up for my free stuff and you'll go on my email list anyway. So what I've been told is that it's important not to shock people too much. That's why it's being drip fed out. Obviously, if push comes to shove, then that's the way it'll have to be. But right now, that's not the way it's got to be. It may feel like we're being tied back right now, but please understand, justice will come. I know this. A lot of people know this. We're in the monastic photon belt. We are in galactic alignment, harmonic convergence. We are going to awaken. This has been agreed. It's set in stone. Like I've said so many times, how that looks is not set in stone. How we experience it, the fun part, or not the fun part, if that's the way you want to look at it, that's not set in stone, but the outcome is set in stone. So please don't doubt that is what's going to happen. We are going to spiritually awaken. That is what does. Well, if that's what we choose, if we choose an out, we won't be able to continue, because that sounds really harsh. All souls will become awakened on this planet. Many have chosen not to awaken, in which case they won't be able to stay because the energy will be too high. But even if someone is held back, they will be pushed into awakening as the energy raises. So don't worry about people and your friends and family who are not waking up yet. There's plenty of time. Right, I do want to have a quick look. I'm trying to prioritise this because I know this is going on for quite a while. I do want to say we've just had Christmas, obviously, if you're watching at this point, obviously. If not, we haven't just had Christmas, but at the time I'm recording this, we've just had Christmas. And there's a lot of stuff lying about around the Saturn, Satan and Santa thing, you know, with the words, because they're obviously linked. And I do want to say my take on this is that Saturn is the ruler of time, and time is of the illusion, not of the truth. It's of this physical manifestation, which is illusion. So by encouraging focus on time, it focuses perception on the illusion. So it keeps us trapped in this perceptual loop. That is why, as far as I'm concerned, Saturn is so important to the black hats. Now, David Icke says that the rings around Saturn are not natural, and I happen to agree. I think it was David Icke said that. Somebody said that anyway. I think David Icke said it as well, if somebody else did. To amplify the energy of Saturn. Now, I'm not saying Saturn's bad. Absolutely not. If we want to play in this physical reality, we need time, because that's part of the contrast, isn't it? So time is not a bad thing. It's like anything. It's like money. Money is just a representation of energy. It's how that's used and manipulated that's important, not it's the energy that's put into that that's important. It doesn't make anything good or bad. And I do get that Satan is that word readjusted, and I do get that Santa is that word, readjusted, and I do get that when the winter solstice was turned into Christmas, and it was dedicated to the birth of Jesus, which I don't believe it was at all, the birth of Jesus, that is, and it was moved into Capricorn, which is also about time and physicality. And at that point, this is my understanding anyway, Santa was brought in as, and I'm not saying there are not roots, genuine, good, positive roots for Santa, that it made Christmas more physically orientated. It's about money, it's about gifts, it's about spending, it's about focusing on the perception of this physical reality, and so cementing it in a little bit further. That's my take on it anyway. I do want to have a quick look at Andrew Tate. Now, why I want to look at Andrew Tate is because he's been spouting some truth and stuff. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't like him. The second I saw him, I knew. I saw straight his aura. That is not a good person. But he was spouting some truth of stuff. So I get that he's calling this truth of stuff into disrepute here. Now, I want to know whether he's a black hat ploy, or whether he's just a loose black hat cannon, or whether he's just an independent person. I do want to just have a quick look at him here, because he's kind of got my interest here. Now, this is very, very interesting. The first thing I was noticing is there's no black hats and there's no white hats in here. This, to me, looks like he's very, very independent. But this struck out to me as soon as I laid it. Coupled with this, I would wonder whether this is some kind of an illusion going on here. I would suggest that he's long gone. Possibly even him and his brother. That's what I'm getting. This was set up to open things up. Now, I can only assume that that's the white hats, because I'm not getting that here. But who would take him down other than the white hats, which suggests to me there's more going on here than we're being shown. This is another complex issue, and I'm not really sure I care that much about this Andrew Tate to actually look into it that much. If you really, really do and you want me to, please let me know in the comments. There's a lot of happiness in here, and I get that more than anything, I'm getting that this is to do with him and his image and his recordings and his situation being used for the good of all. And what I mean by that is obviously exposing what's been going on, because although not in the same way that they traffic people and use people, I'm talking about the black hats obviously, he's doing it in a different way, but it's still the same stuff. So still the same stuff is coming out, it's being brought to attention. And what I'm getting is it's kind of like a stage. It's kind of like a stage that maybe we can see justice here. That's the impression I'm getting. If we can see justice here, then when it comes to the harder stuff, the children, it's going to be much more easy to digest for the population, let's say. That's the impression I'm getting with him. He's long gone. He's not even around. This is a managed event. This is completely managed. I'm not seeing any white hats in here, but I can't see who else it would be. Unless this is being staged independently. But why would that be for the good of all? Let's pull some more cards and see what we get. There we go. The white hat's bringing in the truth to the lies. He's already long gone. This is a staged event by the white hats. I'm absolutely seeing that. Now, I don't want to be going on and on and on. I do want to very briefly, because I suffered so much watching this Prince Edward the musical. Prince Edward, is it? I can't even remember his name. Prince Edward, yeah. Edward the musical. But I did it for you. I sacrificed myself so you don't have to. Now, it is a comedy, and it is what you'd expect from a British comedy. They've taken something that's absolutely ridiculous. It's very Monty Python in that sense, and I'm not saying Monty Python are not bad, are not black hats. They've taken something and made it ridiculous. It is a comedy. It starts off quite promisingly, and then it just tries to turn the royal family into human beings who are just being buffeted around by circumstances or stupidity, rather than the truth that they are doing what they're doing to little people. And I found it hugely insulting. There was not really much comedy in there. I may have smiled, but I didn't really laugh. The funny thing is, in here, I am seeing white hats. So I do believe that they've had a hand in this. I know the comedians involved may have done this out of love for comedy. It is a pretty sound idea. I didn't feel it was handled as well as it could have been handled. They did bring up some stuff about Fergie that I'd forgotten about. I mean, it did bring up some of the old stuff, but making the royal family out to be these innocent people struggling with these emotions of doing the right thing, which I don't believe they've ever had a thought of doing the right thing in their entire lives. But it is a white hat. If you want to watch it, watch it. I found it grating and annoying. I don't really feel it opened up anything to me, but then I've never really supported the royal family anyway, so maybe it is helping. Maybe taking it this slowly is helping. Opening up the royal family to ridicule, maybe. Reminding us of some of the dodgy stuff that got uncovered. Before we get onto the hard stuff, I guess. Just what was the other thing? The other thing was this Harry's book. No, I did a reading. There was this guy who claimed to be Prince Harry, and I won't even go into that now. Let's just have a look around quickly around this book that Prince Harry has written, and see what we can get around, if this is waking anything up, if there's anything interesting in the book. I'm not going to read it. If you have, then let me know if there was anything interesting in it. I'm just going by what I've seen about the book. I'm just getting a drip, drip, drip. And there's the white hats. Same card in the same place. I think these two were in the exact same card in the same place. I'm not sure about that one though. I can't remember now. These things coming out at the same time. That's what's important. It is changing people's opinions. It is working. It is changing people's opinions. People are seeing the light through this. So I don't know how much of an expose it actually was. What I got was him saying that William had hit him, knocked him to the floor, and he was bragging about killing 25 people in Afghanistan or something like that. I don't know. Or, like I said, I've not read it, but it all seems to be going well for humanity. It's another step, and it was White Hat managed or suggested or supported in some way. Wow, that was really, really interesting. I'm so glad I finally got round to having a look at Elon Musk and Twitter and this whole Twitter situation. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Please share, subscribe, leave a comment below. My PayPal tip jar will be in the description. My Amazon wish list is in the description if you wish to support me and my channel. Obviously, there's more stuff on my membership site on my website, starlightworkcircle.com, all about awakening and connecting in and managing your energy, all kinds of stuff like that. I teach all of that. And all my social media will be linked in the description below as well. So if you want to join me there, obviously I do a lot more updates on social media than I can make videos. So I'd love you to join me there. But thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.